it looks like Meghan Markle and Prince Harry can say bye-bye to their titles, as reports are coming through that the royals will decide on removing them this month at Balmoral. Let me explain more. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef the Alternate, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught my eye, and oh my goodness, yeah, let's jump into this one, shall we, because we have been hoping for years that the royals would actually get to this point, and it looks like they finally have, and they're finally listening to us, because, oh yeah, at Balmoral this month, this summer, there is going to be a summit between the royals, and they're going to decide whether or not Megxie and Hazza are going to keep their Sussex titles or not. Oh my goodness, yes! Finally! Oh my goodness, it has been a while. The last reports were that they were thinking about it. However, they were a bit scared about the backlash that it might create. Hopefully now, seeing this particular headline, they realised there wouldn't be any backlash. If anything, there would be joy and there would be celebration. So, Hazza and Megxie's royal titles, particularly the Sussex ones, are now at risk as King Charles is convening a summit at Balmoral to discuss it all. And so according to a, quote, extremely well-placed source, one point of discussion at the annual summer holiday at Balmoral, which is dubbed a Royal Family Summit, will be how the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will fit in with the royal family over the next decade. And so the source says, quote, the royal family are meeting at Balmoral to discuss a number of different things, but one of them will be Hazza and Megxie. What people don't realise is that the Balmoral gathering isn't just a summer holiday. The family also participates in pre-arranged meetings where they discuss the family's current position and how they can best prepare for the future, which makes sense because they're all going to be there all at once, all in the same place. So, yeah, you might as well capitalise on that and have meetings about how the family is at this point and where you want to be in the future. So yeah, makes sense. The source then says last year was very much about honouring the Queen, as it was the King's first time hosting the gathering since her death. But this will be about how the family can best move forward without Hazza and Megxie. So not only will Hazza and Megxie's tours, an upcoming trip to Canada, be on the agenda, but also their titles and peerages will be up for discussion. Now, just a little bit of a side note here, guys, stay tuned for my next Daily Nerd, my next video that will be released in the next couple of hours, because Prince William seems to have broken his silence over Megxie and Hazza's current Colombian tour, and he is not happy. So stay tuned for that. If it's already released, then I'll put it in the description bar below and it'll be at the end of this video. But yeah, in the meantime, yeah, their titles and peerages are going to be up for discussion. Yes! Finally, the royal family are knocking their heads together and being like, we need to sort these jokers out. I think they're finally realising that opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, Hazza and Megxie are profiting off of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex titles. Not only from a societal perspective of trying to climb that society ladder, but also as well from a monetary perspective as well. I mean, just think about it this way. When you go onto Megxie's Instagram page for American Riviera Orchard, it says, by Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. Her title should not be in any way, shape or form associated with a commercial venture, as far as I can tell from the Sandringham Agreement. Furthermore, you see their Sussex.com website, and all over it's Duke and Duchess of Sussex, and it's there promoting things such as, you know, Archie Productions, which is a for money commercial venture. Again, linking their titles to something that's commercial, which, by my understanding, flies in the face of the Sandringham Agreement. So it looks like the royals are like, enough is enough. Their titles and peerages are now going to be up for discussion boy. And it's not just, okay, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex titles that are at risk here. Hazard has various other titles. You've got the Earl of Dumbarton and Baron Kilkeel. He was also made a Knight Commander of the Royal Victorian Order, KCVO, by Queen Elizabeth II back in 2015. Megxie also has other titles other than the Sussex one. She has the Countess of Dumbarton and Baroness Kilkeel. And so, yeah, the couple have already been asked to no longer use the HRH title, even though just a couple of months back in Nigeria, it was used. Yeah. And so, yeah, now that has been used, especially with that Nigerian trip, it appears to have triggered the whole revolt now at this point. The source adds that although it will be easy for King Charles to strip their titles, the prince part, for example, will be a different story when it comes to their peerages. The source says there could be a challenge made if any peerages are removed. So this is something that needs to be navigated extremely carefully. The title of Prince and HRH are both gifts from the sovereign and can be stripped quite easily. But Harry's dukedom, earldom and barony will have to be removed by an act of parliament, which could throw up a lot of unnecessary problems and unwanted media attention. And I have reported on this channel throughout the years Parliament's efforts to actually kind of shove through either an amendment to an existing law or put in a new law that would enable Hazard and Megxie to have their title stripped. I am still keeping an eye on it. When there's any further developments or new updates, I will let you guys know about that. But the source then adds that if Hazard was to lose his prince title, that would mean that Archie and Lilibet would also lose their titles as well of prince and princess. But the children would still be able to use the Dumbarton titles, whilst the parents will just be known simply as the Sussexes. Oh, Megxie would not like that, would she? Oh, I hope at this summit when they discuss removing the titles, they decide to do it. I really, really do. It gives them too much power that, as far as I'm concerned, they're abusing at this point. Now, the source also says it's a difficult one to navigate because the king is very conscious about his grandchildren. There have been ongoing discussions surrounding this matter, but no decisions have yet been made. This is something that will hopefully be concluded during talks between the king and other senior royals this summer. Now, what are the chances that from this summit, from this talk, they decide that Hazard and Megxie's titles can go bye-bye? I think it's very strong. The likelihood is very strong that this could actually happen. Why? Well, I reported this a little while back. Prince William has put an absolute ban on Prince Harry and by extension and by extension Megxie from ever coming back to the royal family in any way, shape or form. And so here it says Prince William has banned Prince Harry, and by extension Megxie, I would say, from a royal return in any way, shape or form. So if Prince William has banned them from ever coming back in any way, shape or form, to me, it means at that point that they're treating them like they're nothing, that they're not part of the royal family at this point. And so if they're not part of the royal family at this point, then they shouldn't have the titles that would go with being part of the royal family, if that makes sense. It has been reported that Prince William has taken on the authoritarian disciplinarian role that Prince Philip used to have. A source saying that William is calling the shots when it comes to family discipline, and that there's an absolute ban on Harry, and again I would say by extension Megxie, returning in any way, shape or form to the family fold. So to me, it makes absolute sense that if there's now an absolute ban on Harry and by extension Megxie of returning back to the royal family in any way, shape or form, to me that means that, yeah, they're not treating them as if they're part of the royal family anymore. If they're not part of the royal family anymore, then they don't have the titles that they would have if they were part of the royal family, if that makes sense. And so, yeah, this kind of summit, where they're now discussing whether Hazard and Megxie should have their titles stripped, is not a surprise to me. it's welcome news, and I hope they make the right decision, and I hope they get these titles removed, because Megxie and Hazard at this point are just taking the absolute mick, and as far as I'm concerned, are completely going against the Sandringham Agreement and using their titles not just for societal gain, but also for monetary gain as well. And for me, that is disgusting. They've crossed a line. Royal family, when you're having this discussion, please come to the right decision. The UK, the majority of us do not approve of Hazard and Megxie. Strip them of their titles. There will be little backlash. I assure you, get it done. It is the right thing to do as far as I'm concerned. With that being said, if you appreciated this video and you want more, and believe me, there's going to be more. You do not want to miss my next video. Prince William is now going to be breaking his silence over Megxie and Hazard's Colombian tour. What is he saying? What does he think about it? Let's put it this way. He ain't happy. That's going to be released in the next couple of hours. If you don't want to miss that, and I bet you don't, then make sure you subscribe to join our Alternate tribe, because I'll be honest with you, help us now get to 1 million so we can also get that go play button right there and hopefully cause a Meghan Markle meltdown on Instagram. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's. Also as well, if you've got some very strong opinions on this Balmoral summit and whether you think the royals should remove Megxie and Hazard's titles or not, and I bet you got some strong opinions about that, then make sure you send me a super thanks. It's just below this video right here. We can have a conversation about this because it does guarantee a response from me. And until the next time, you guys, laters.